keeping them, no, I'm not going to be a Schwarzenegger here, right? But I'm keeping them straight, right? I still use them. So if I do a sit-up, I can do a sit-up every day once, then I can do sit-ups, right? Push-ups, all of that, only once. Because now if you take an average person, like even if they're 60s and here in our culture, and you tell them sit down and get up, they all need help to get up, okay? Because again, they're not used, they are not that, you know. So for example, when I get up the morning from bed, I don't just get off bed, I'll do a sit-up, one sit-up without holding the bed, and then get up, right? So I know my back sit-up is okay, you know, all the muscle, the group muscle. So that's one of the things in the book of that chapter. How do you, with very little, so that's why you need 5 seconds. I don't need millions of repetition to do, you know. If I do 5, of course, if you are going to the gym and you are doing all of that, great, good for you. I'm talking about those couch potatoes. You know, like 70%, this is statistically. Like this guy who was on couch potato sitting, drinking beer all day, and like 70, 75 years old, and his wife was watching TV, right? And they were watching TV about those people who had like brain damage, brain dead, and the argument was whether to let them die or keep them hooked to all of the fire, you know. So he told his wife, he said, listen, if I get to that state, I want to tell you, if I get to that state, I don't want to live, I want to go and pull the plug, pull, and get all the liquid out. I don't want to live that way. So if I get to that condition. So she went and pulled the plug from the TV and throw all the, all the beer. Okay, so it's 5 to 10 seconds, right? Now, what I did in the book, I observed idle time. Okay, what is idle time? We have, although you think you are busy all the time, but there's always some seconds of idle time in your life, in your daily life. You know, for example, you are boiling water. Right? You have at least 10 seconds to you can do many things with that 10 seconds when you are boiling water. Or brushing your teeth, you can stand on one foot. This is to do balance, to extend, and very important to gain your balance back. Because most of the people, when they get older, they fall and they break their hips. You know? So this is kind of giving you your balance back, or strengthening your balance, right? Or when you walk from your bedroom to the kitchen, you walk on your toes, so it gives you the calves will be strengthened, right? And that doesn't require any time, okay? And you know, we are losing flexibility. So again, you're like, if you tie your shoe, if you are young, you can go all the way down, tie your shoe. If you are old, you automatically your foot on a chair or something, and then you tie your shoe. Who is talking? Satan. Yeah, Satan, little by little, kind of take away all the functions, you know, reducing your flexibility, reducing your this, reducing your balance, you know, until you don't feel like living anymore, right? Okay. Then there is another concept. The idle time is not only at home. You know, like you are sitting, standing in the supermarket in line. Yeah, you can stand on one foot, or you can have the exercise. I don't take these cards, right? If I have not much to buy, then I'll buy like I take 2 of those bags. What do you call them? Baskets, and I put here like 2 symmetric. And then I go like this, you know. People think I'm crazy. Right? I'm doing like 2 dumbbells. Another important concept is called, you know, remember the thing that says out of sight, out of mind. right? Everybody knows that. But I have the opposite of that. I say inside, in mind, right? Which means if you put things inside all the time, right, it reminds you of things. Like I have a sticker on the door. I know when I come through the door, I have to do this, right? Or you want to have food that is healthy food, if you want. So I put them in the kitchen here on the island there. Every time I move there, I see cauliflower or whatever. So I take a piece of or I don't know a grape or whatever, right? So all of those, remember those machines that people buy that are advertised on TV, you know how to help? They always fold them and put them under the bed, right? So which means this is it. They just rust because nobody's going to take it from the bed, right? Most of them rust. Okay, the last thing is casino. Casino. You know, the reason people don't do any of this because it's not exciting. They don't get feedback right away. You know, like if you are playing like Sue, right? The casino blackjack, you are getting feedback right away. You put a this, you get double or whatever. But in health. If I tell you, you eat this and you live longer, okay, or you don't eat that and you get heart attack, who's going to think about it, right? But so I try to do the entire health, exercise, eating well, and so on, like a casino. And every time you do something right, you get a yellow chip. Every time, not every time, like during the day and during the week. So you're getting yellow chips to extend your life, right? Because yellow is a good thing.
Chocolate.
And then, sorry?
Chocolate chips? Chocolate chips. He said chocolate chips.
Chocolate chip. Yeah, okay.
Banana
And
chips.
and finally, I did lots of research to find out what do you do and how many days you can live longer if you are doing a particular thing, right? So if you do, like you take a general thing, at the end of the week, you know how many red and how many yellow, which means how many you are extending your life and this one shortening your life. And finally, so you are playing like a game every week, and this is again a chapter of the book. Now, vitamins and minerals, this is very important, right? This I want really to stress for this audience. There is an epidemic, I believe. People are abusing, because of marketing of the vitamin people, this drug and so on, they're abusing. I'm not talking here about people who are addicts and they take, alcohol or heroin or whatever. I'm talking about average people who take vitamins, right? So they think, for example, 1 a day vitamin, okay? White people take 1 a day vitamin, it's to be on the safe side. But actually, you are on the unsafe side. Because you are not only taking a vitamin 1 a day, but you are also taking all of those foods that has lots of additive, like fortified with this, like milk fortified with vitamin D, this fortified with. Now, very important that you want me to stop.
No.
Okay.
I'm giving you the 5-minute warning.
Okay.
Sorry, we have to be out of here by 10:30.
Oh, yeah, we have to be out. Okay, what time is it now?
Well, we're good. Just another 5 minutes?
You have to go. You have to be out. Yeah. Or they have another thing.
Well,
Or,
no, I mean,
okay.
go
Okay.
as long as you want. We're just going to clean up after.
Okay,
If
I
you
will.
don't mind me clean up.
Oh, wait, okay.
Keep going. This
I'll
is
finish.
awkward. Keep going.
Okay. Everybody knows a car, right? You take a car and you put a dipstick in the engine, and you have to be a certain, right? If it's less than, you add oil, right? If it's less than, I'm sorry?
Add a quartz.
Add a quart. Okay. Now, everybody add a quart. Good. If you have too low, then the engine breaks down. But nobody thought about what if it's too high. Okay? And if you add another quart more than the normal, it's as bad as the lower, you know, because you'll get bubbles and so on, and the engine breaks down. Not right away, not right away. Like, you know, again, a car, all these, the engine transmissions are like the organs in your body, right? And all the fluids that you put is like all the vitamins and minerals and so on. I'm making oversimplifying, right? But so many people think, you know, the more the merrier. That's not true. For example, potassium is where all the electricity in the body is, right? Lack of potassium will all the neurons will misfire, or the heart will, because the heart is all electrical stuff going on, right? But if you have over potassium, right? Somebody, like I know a guy 5 years ago who he told him, you know, you are running a marathon, so you need potassium because the body loses potassium. So he took like 4 bananas, right? And he started taking every 20 minutes a pill. And finally he died from heart attack because it's like you have a bulb of 120 volts and you put 220, right? So, right? It got, you know, fibrillation, right? Anyway, so that's kind of bad, and also it depends on the organs. Like if the kidneys they are malfunctioning, then it doesn't take potassium out, so you have more potassium in the blood. So my point is that the same thing with calcium. You know, if you have too much calcium and there is no too much vitamin D, you get stones, kidney stones. So it's all of that is very, very complicated, and doctors, of course, have warned you about that, but many people just ignore that and they just take these chemicals without really knowing what exactly is going on. Now, there are many medication that people take that depletes certain vitamins and minerals from your body. For example, I personally, the only one medication I take is something called Nexium, or against I have something that is, you know, acid reflux. Okay? So, but in the long run, those medications will deplete vitamin B12, right, and iron, which is responsible for the blood cells. So you become anemic. You become anemic, and then also it takes all the good bacteria from the intestines and the stomach, right? So therefore, if you are doing that, then you can go to the doctor and ask. That's what I did. I went and asked and said, I want to have a test of B12, iron, and all of it, because I read about it, that these medications cause that. So the doctor said, that's a great idea, so I have the test, right? And I found out that I am deficient in that, right? I was anemic, and therefore I started taking those, you know, not every day, but from now. So the point is, again, so basically, if you are aware of what's happening, you become an assistant to your doctor. So you go to the doctor already with knowledge, because doctors are not going to look at everything. You go to a cardiologist, he deals with your heart. He's not going to look at all the vitamins and so on. So you can become an assistant to the doctor. Don't do anything by yourself, but notify the doctor what you. So the solution is very simple, really. What you have to do is take a comprehensive blood test, right? Not only cholesterol and sugar and so on, but everything else, like the vitamins, you know, B12, B, vitamin D, vitamin E, and so on, and find out whether in some of them you need more, some of them you need less. Some of them you are avoiding to take. So all your diet becomes related to that. You know, what are you eating? What will be related to that? You know, like if you have too much potassium in your blood, don't eat too much bananas, you know, right? And I'm surprised, actually, when you go to nutritionists or dietitians, they never ask you what medications you are taking. They they always say, okay, here is, eat bananas, eat apple, and here, eat so much protein. So if they don't ask you and they don't kind of personalize it to you, then they are really they are blind, giving you blind solutions, which is not that great. So I'm basically saying go to the doctor, do a comprehensive blood test, and see what you need more and what you need less. Okay. Anyway, so that's about. Okay, last one is the mental and emotional. There's 4 happy chemicals that you have to basically let your brain secretes, because that's really what happiness is about. Happiness is the happy chemicals that are in your brain. So how do you induce them? That's again an important thing. Now, in order to do all of that, you need a purpose in life and positive attitude, right? So if you don't have a purpose, then you are not going to suddenly go and be aware, of anything. The purpose meaning you are going to say, well, I want to live longer. There's a purpose for my life. So, and it's an iterative process. Like you have a purpose, then you gain a little bit of attitude, then you start being aware, then you just exercise, you do it, then that make the purpose even stronger, And little by little, you are going to get all of these things. So without purpose and without positive attitude, you are not going to suddenly be aware of everything. So that's kind of coming on top of everything, and then you have all these 3 points. So that's kind of the essence of it. So I go through, now I have here a pad that I'm going to have to come here again twice to give 2 more going into the detail of these 4 chapters, right? One lecture going into the detail of the chapter of physical and diet and all that stuff, and the other one is the mental and the mental and the emotional. So anybody who wants to attend that, right? Please sign your name and put your email. If you don't have an email, put your phone number. Okay, I'm going to let you. We may have to go out to do that, but that's kind of. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.